My father has raced cars for the past several decades, and I have enjoyed karting since a very young age. In these two fast-paced sports, there is only one thing the driver cares about, and that is shaving off those fractions of seconds after every lap. So why do fractions matter? Consider driving a race of 50 laps, and you are, on average, a mere 0.3 of a second slower than the person in front of you. A car at 150 miles per hour will travel 220 feet per second. At the end of the race, you are now behind by 3,300 feet. That is over half a mile. In a blink of an eye, a snap of a finger, a flash of light, life, as you know it, could change forever. I believe there's an underappreciated value yet to be placed on fractions of seconds. I'm talking tenths, hundreds, perhaps even thousands of seconds here. So how many times has a fraction of a second impacted your life? Perhaps it was a crazy driver, a moment in a video game, playing a sport, or maybe even a lightning strike. Today, I urge you to recognize the value and impact that fractions of seconds hold in our lives, whether it be in athletics, business, our bodies, or even the cosmos. These elusive moments are bursting with life and opportunity. But just as they carry immense beauty, we must remember that these marginal intervals of time can hold devastation and disappointment. I know we have a good group of swimmers in the room, and a fair number of you are track athletes. The sports I just named are all heavily dependent on one construct, time. This reality was made evident to swimmer Tori Husk in the 2021 Summer Olympics. Husk competed in the 100-meter butterfly, losing the opportunity to secure a bronze medal after touching the pool's wall 1/100th of a second too late. On the other hand, Emma McKeon, the swimmer who secured the bronze medal, was probably very pleased with whatever it was that propelled her ever so faster to the pool's end. However, this pleasure may have been short-lived, as Emma herself lost a silver medal by only 0.08 of a second. For the swimmer who won the silver medal, those 0.08 of a second may have been the happiest of her life. So here we see two elite Olympic swimmers who fell short of their aspirations by incredibly marginal fractions of time. It's a shame. But as athletes, they are well aware of the importance of their lap times, and in that, recognize even a marginal lapse of awareness can be the difference in those much-needed fractional gains. Athletics is not the only field where fractions of seconds hold value. Take business. Amazon is acutely aware of the difference between a good outcome and a great outcome, which they found to be determined by marginal amounts of time. According to an article from Gigaspaces, Amazon found that every 100 milliseconds of latency costs them 1% in sales. That is a major statistic, considering the company at hand has a market cap of over $2 trillion. So, consider how a lapse of attention in school or at work can affect not only your success and output, but also that of the school you represent, the company you work for. Lapses are going to happen. We are all human. But it is consciousness of the value that fractions of time hold, which can make or break a company. One person slacking may have little effect on output, but if the majority of a workforce or group of students is unconscious to the value of those moments, then failure is suddenly glaring at you on the horizon. Let's talk now about the cosmos and our bodies. Yes, fractions of seconds apply to the cosmos. Take an imploding star. A star implodes when it collapses inwardly under its own seismic gravity. Essentially, the star's core collapses on itself at blistering speeds of up to 25% the speed of light, which occurs in less than 1/4 of a second. Imagine that. You're looking at a gargantuan celestial ball of energy and through a telescope, and it collapses in on itself in a fraction of a second. So the next time you have a chance to observe a star through a telescope, do it, because it could be gone before you blink. The human eye is capable of blinking in 1/10 to 4/10 of a second. This is a remarkable feat of the human body. In the last minute of my talk, many of you have blinked 15 to 20 times. This means that for 10% of the time you spend in your waking hours, your eyes are closed. The blink occurs so rapidly that we go about our day unconscious of the momentary darkness veiling our eyes from any light. This suggests something about us as human beings, that for 1 hour and 40 minutes of our day, we aren't even aware of our temporary blindness. So one can only imagine the myriad of other things that go unnoticed in those fractions of seconds. I urge you to remain conscious, not necessarily of blinking, as that would drive anyone mad, but conscious of your surroundings, of the minute periods of time you spend gazing into no man's land. Being more conscious can be as simple as monitoring your screen time, which I have done to reduce time spent distracted and maximize time spent working on the aspects of my life which I value. Time is marching, but it's marching in milliseconds. Living with urgency forces you off of the screen and into the world where you can take action. The more conscious we are, the more alive we feel, and the more we recognize the value of life itself as it passes by in a snap of a finger, a blink of an eye. Appreciate the tiny fractions of seconds, the tiny impact that fractions of seconds have on our lives, whether it be finishing a race as victor or capturing a star collapse. Live with urgency. Remain conscious. Thank you all for your time.